Have you ever felt like all the lights in the world have been turned off? That moment when the tower you painstakingly built collapses in an instant, and all the time and passion you poured in feels like it has been tossed into a trash can. We call this failure. The word failure makes us feel helpless. It's a way at our courage to stand up again and eventually forces us to sit still in despair. But today, I want to tell you a completely different story. You have never failed, not even once. You have simply identified one of the many paths that were not the right answer, a path you had to cross to get to where you want to be. In France, Israel. Ray sera in the Association of the Ray. Believing we have failed is not because of the result itself, but because of our outdated perspective on that result. Most people view a trial that didn't yield expected results as a stain on their life or a limitation of their ability. However, picking up the wrong piece while solving a jigsaw puzzle of success does not mean the puzzle solving itself has failed. Rather, by clearly knowing where that piece does not fit, the probability of finding the correct piece next time that has increased dramatically. Behind every great achievement we admire, there were always tens of thousands of attempts that found paths that were not the answer. The thousands of trials and errors Thomas Edison went through to invent the light bulb were never a waste of time. Despite the cynical gazes around him, he stood tall and said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This is not just a comforting rhetoric. It is a calculated and scientific way of thinking and a logical process for finding the fastest shortcut to success. Edison was building a database with every attempt. He erased the methods that didn't work one by one, and eventually he held the only correct answer left in his hand. If he had stopped in the middle, people would have remembered him as a failure. But because he didn't stop, every part of that process became the foundation for legendary success. The frustrating situation you face right now is just like Edison's database. Your current result is not a report card proving your incompetence. It is a filtering process you must go through to move to the next stage. So why do we still hesitate and fail to act out of fear of failure? It is because of the social stigma and self-censorship that the word failure or is the complacent thought that if you don't try, there is no failure traps us in a safe prison. But you must remember that doing nothing is the only truly fatal failure or you can commit in life. If you have challenged something and are feeling frustrated because it didn't go as planned, that is proof that you are alive and a badge of honor showing you already have the execution power of the top 1%. Most of the world stays in place and milking the challenges of others without even trying. But you took a step, and even if that path was blocked, that path has now become past data that can no longer hold you back. To you, standing still for fear of failure, I want to ask is what you really fear, the failure itself, or the image of yourself later in life? Regretting and saying, I should have tried it back then. Look at the ordeal you are going through right now with a cold, rational eye. This is not an emotional issue to respond to, but business data to be analyzed. Calmly organize what was lacking in this attempt. What variables were at play, and what parts were beyond your control. Objectify your challenge as if a researcher in a lab. We're verifying a hypothesis. Then you will escape from the giant swarm of emotion called failure and gain a practical asset called learning. Success is not a gift that comes by luck all at once. Thus, it is though one single yes obtained after collecting countless no's. Therefore, the numerous no's your hand right now are not trash to be thrown away and goals, but the bricks that will become the strongest foundation. When you build the house of success later, an optimist is not someone who simply believes things will go well. An optimist is someone who looks harsh reality in the face, but never loses faith that they will ultimately prevail. Do not ignore your current pain. It is okay to hurt and be miserable. However, do not let those emotions bury you and devalue who you are. Today's result is not the final destination that determines your future. Rather, it is just a station you must pass through to get to the goal you want. Take a breath at that station, analyze why the road was blocked, and pack your bags again. You have become much wiser and have much stronger data than before. Now, one of the tens of thousands of paths that don't lead to success has disappeared from before you, and the only path to success will have become that much clearer. Everyone who takes on a challenge inevitably encounters frustration. However, the path of life changes completely depending on how you define that frustration. Some see it as a wall and turn back, while others see it as a stepping stone and step up. You must be the latter. If you hadn't experienced the trial and error you had today, you might have had to pay a much higher price. I'm talking the fix. If that was just the fix, want a bigger success later. The universe might be giving you a small, preventive shot right now to give you a bigger gift. So, lift your head. Your challenge is still a work in progress, and as long as you don't give up, the word failure cannot exist in your dictionary. As I wrap up this video, I have a suggestion for you. Take out a piece of paper right now and write down 3 things you learned from this attempt. Not emotional lamentations, but technically or strategically. What you will do differently next time. The moment you write that down, so your failure is officially converted into an asset. You have just acquired a definitive ticket to success. I hope the mindset we shared today becomes a powerful weapon that changes your tomorrow. Do not waver and keep moving forward. When you have erased all the paths that are not the answer, only the brilliant path to success will remain before you. I root for every step you take, and we will surely meet at the end of that road. If this content was helpful, please share your challenges in the comments. Just by sharing each other's trial and error, we can grow faster. I hope you gain the momentum for continuous growth. Through subscribing and liking, we will meet again in the next video, even stronger. Thank you.